Hi everyone, and today I have the new Chanel Les Beiges range, which has just released on their Chanel UK website. I think it's also on the US one too. And in this video I'll first try on their new primer, and then I will do a look using this new eyeshadow palette. I picked up two of their new blushes, and I'll put one on each cheek so you can see how they look. And I also picked up the new shade in the Rouge Cocoa Balm. So if you'd like to see all of these new products tried on, please keep watching. And if you're new here, hi, I'm Hannah. I'm not a professional, I'm just somebody who loves makeup. And on here I like to share with you my favourite looks, my favourite products, any tips, any news that I think you might be interested in. If you think that's something you'll enjoy, please like and subscribe below. And now on to the video. So the first product to show you here is the primer. This primer comes in three shades: Frosty White, Icy Beige and Light Copper. I have picked up Frosty White, which I'll show you first on my hand. This cream has the appearance of a face cream, but it does give a glow. Can you see the glow it's giving? Chanel says that this primer is designed to withstand the cold weather. It has the typical Chanel smell, which I love, but if you don't like scents, obviously that's an issue, but then all Chanel products do tend to have that smell. I'll pop some on my face here. I'm not really expecting it to correct any of the redness or disguise my skin pores, but it should give me a lot of hydration. It contains hyaluronic acid and jasmine oil. The hyaluronic acid really plumps and hydrates the skin, and the jasmine oil is supposed to offer a soothing effect, which I think it does. It feels beautiful actually. It's very, very pleasant, but it does feel like I'm applying skincare. So this very much depends on what you like as a primer. It's one of the primers that offers you a nice glow and lots of hydration, which should help your makeup to sit and last longer throughout the day. That's definitely given me a glow. It's very pleasant. Obviously if you go for the others you will get more of a colour in it, whereas I've just gone for this icy one, so there's no colour whatsoever, but lots of shine. So we'll see how my foundation sits on this and how my makeup lasts. I will now go on to apply the rest of my base makeup off camera, so you can see how everything is looking on top of the primer, and I'll be back with you in a minute when all of that's done. So now on to the eyeshadow, and this one is just called Cool. I'll do a quick swatch for you so you can see how they swatch. First shade, a very pale pink, and then this is the next pink, and here is the next shade, which is a really pretty pink, and onto the deeper colours. Now this one, look how well that's swatched considering it's purpley. It just swatched instantly, so smooth, which is really, I think that's really promising. Colours like that often do not swatch well, even if they work well on the eyes. And now this one, again, that's swatched beautifully. So there we have it, that's all of them. And I've got to say, I've tried out a few Chanel quints, and this one is swatching so well compared to any I've tried before. So quite excited to try this one. So starting here with the lightest shade, quite a lot coming off there, so you do need to tap these off. And I'm using my BK Beauty N13 brush from the Nikki LaRose range, which is a really good range. That's actually got a bit more colour to it than I was expecting, because I didn't really see it on my hand, but then my hand is a little bit darker than my eye. Yeah, that's quite a nice base colour that. Don't know if you can see it much on camera. I'm going to use the same brush to apply this pink here. This one seems like more of a smooth matte, so just adding to the transition colour really and building it up all round. Be interesting to see how this looks on me, because pinks tend to make me look ill and I don't like them on me. They have to have a bit of depth, but this palette definitely has depth, so I'm hoping it's going to work okay on me. I'm taking my Sonia G Pencil Pro, so there's a lot of kickback there, you do need to be careful. When you apply it there doesn't seem to be any fallout. You just need to be careful to tap these off. They are buttery soft though, they really do feel lovely on the skin. And using my Rapha 32, which is my absolute favourite brush ever, I'm going to use this to build up a bit of depth in the outer corner of my eye, the outer V. That's applying very nicely, it's not overwhelming, it's not too dark. But look how easily that's blended into the transition shadow almost instantly. I really like that. I'm using my Pencil Pro, just take the same underneath. I know it looks a mess at the moment. Now it needs a good tidy up. And I'll start blending it into the transition colour with no more powder on the brush. Well, that has given depth, but even though it's a dark shade, it's quite a subtle depth. I think I'll put a tiny bit more. Would like a bit more. Yeah, it does build up, look. So you can build this up, which is good because these shades don't always build up. They're often very subtle. Not these shades, sorry, Chanel powders. But yeah, you can, if you're looking for a more smoky eye, I think that works quite well. I quite like that now because when it was light pink, I definitely had that sort of ill look, I think, which doesn't suit me, which doesn't happen to everybody, but when you've got fair skin and blue eyes, it can make you, like this eye, which I haven't done, it just doesn't, I don't think it suits me. Whereas with the darkness, I think it looks better. I will be going back at the end and tidying up around here. And now using my Refer number 2, I'm going to go in with this pink here. No fallout with this one. I'm going to pop this here. Oh, that's nice. And I'm going to also do it on the inner part of my lid, so we have a bit of a halo eye effect. And then tidy up a bit with a clean brush. And then going in lastly with this shiny pink. And I'm using my finger, and I'm going to pop this in the middle. Oh, that is really pretty, isn't it? I really like that. And then just blend it over the edges so that it meets the other colour without having too much of an obvious line. It needs a bit more though. That's not really giving me the payoff I wanted, so I'm going to put some setting spray onto a smaller Refer number 2. This is the mini Refer 2. And then go back into the same shade here. See if I can get a bit more out of it. Oh, I think that's a bit better. Yeah, can you see the difference between this eye and this eye? That's definitely working. It's not as... This shade is not as bright as I was hoping it was, but definitely wetting the brush has given it a better effect, I think. What do you think? I have to say I'm a little bit disappointed with this because I would have liked that pop colour to have just been a bit more impactful. It's just not breaking up the colours enough. I don't think it works very well for a halo eye, if I'm honest, but maybe I should have gone for it all over the eye. In fact, maybe I'll change it right now, why not? So going back in with that shimmer on my finger, I'm going to take it into the corner of my eye and go over across the whole area. And the reason I'm doing this is I just think it all looked a bit too pink and too dark for me. It's made a bit of a difference. Yesterday I tried the Dior eyeshadow, the pink, and I loved that one. I think that one looked really nice, and you could see the difference between the mauve and the lighter pink, and it worked, I think, a lot better than this is working. I just don't like this. Sorry. I really wanted to like it, but I don't like that. You see how they all just seem to blend into the same colour, which is something I have found before with Chanel eyeshadows. You put them on, and you blend out, and I've kept them separate, but they all seem to just blend into the same colour. So I'm going to attempt to line a little bit. Again, I just don't think it's strong enough for this, but anyway, let's see. Well, it is coming out a bit. The fallout on that is horrific. and I tapped off, well, this palette is just annoying me now. I'll just pop a tiny bit of concealer here and here to tidy up this area and hopefully brighten up a bit where the powder is falling. Now going back here into this lighter shade, I'm going to pop this in the inner corner. It's just too dark for the inner corner. Make me cross now, I don't like this. I'm going to go in with the shimmer instead for the inner corner. I think it's the only bright colour that might rescue me here. I'm going to put a little bit here as well. Oh, it looks quite nice there, if you like a lot of shimmer into the eyebrow. At least we have a bit of brightness amidst all this darkness. Yeah, I quite like that. There we are, something I like. I still don't like it and I still think I look ill. Anyway, I'm now going to go on and do my mascara. So that's how it's looking with the mascara on. And I just don't like it. The other thing I'm not very happy about is my foundation, and I don't know if you can see, is caking up here on my nose and doesn't look very good, and on my chin. And I'm using a foundation that I trust and that works well on me, so I don't know if the primer has done that or if I'm just having a really bad skin day. I would need to test that more. I can't really tell you it's terrible. I do think my skin has got a bit of a glow because I'm not wearing any glowy products on my face and it is glowing. So the rest of my face, I think the primer's done a lovely job. But I am a bit concerned about the caking because that wouldn't normally happen with the foundation I used. I will test it further and I can let you know in a roundup video how it's doing. It probably doesn't help that my lips are so pale because I haven't put anything on yet, and also I don't have the blush on, so I am looking more ill, and hopefully the blusher will waken me up a little bit now. So here is the Coral blush, which I absolutely loved when I swatched this when it came yesterday. Here it is swatched on my hand. It's got a lovely shine. I really like this one. Probably not the best blush to try with this eye look, which is so pink, but I'm going to test both of them for you today. And I love Coral, so for me this is probably more of a summer shade. Okay, I'm getting absolutely nothing with the first go, really, but I do like to build up blushes, so that's not a problem. This is my BK A507 brush, BK Beauty. So going back in with a bit more, just adding a bit now. I do actually really like it when blushes can be built up. No disasters. So maybe this would work well. Maybe this shows why it isn't just good in the summer to have this one. This is a very suitable winter blush really, because it's quite a subtle coral on the face, considering how fair I am. Oh, I really like that. I knew I was going to like this when I swatched it yesterday. So this could be built up. It's got a lovely shine, hasn't it? Oh, I really like that. I wouldn't personally build this up again, but I will put a bit more on just so you can see how it looks a bit stronger. It's starting to get a bit too strong for this look now. Anyway, that's the next. Oh, that is so pretty. It's so easy to apply as well. It blends in beautifully. It's just got this gorgeous shimmer. It's not emphasising lines, even though it's got the shimmer, I don't think it is. So yeah. So after the disappointment of the eyeshadow, this one is a massive yes, and this could easily be going into my regular use drawer. And now I'll try the pink one on the other side. Here's the pink one. This is the rose. So now going into this pink blush, which should be a better match for the eye makeup. So let's see. Again, hardly visible on the first go. That's one of the reasons I like this brush. It just doesn't pick up too much product and it just evenly distributes it. It's a very, very good brush. It's my favourite blush brush. I've tried so many, some that have cost a lot more than this one. This one is the one I go back to every time because it just has the perfect shape for this area and it distributes it well and it doesn't pick up too much product. It picks up exactly the right amount. All the links for my brushes and the makeup I'm using today are below if you wanted to check them out. This brush is phenomenal. Anyway, back to the blush. So that's building up a little bit and I think that's beautiful. I'm so glad we've got something good to come out of this. So I'm so fed up with the eyeshadow. Oh, it's really, really pretty. Oh, I love that. Again, we've got the shimmer, and it's not emphasising lines again, just like the other one. Absolutely gorgeous. I'll go back in with one more. So there we have the rose blush and the coral. I think they both work well for winter because the coral is not too much of a deep coral for winter. There is actually a mauve as well. I only picked up 2 of the 3 releases. I didn't get the mauve because it's dark and I thought it would be too dark for me. But going by the way these built up so gradually, I think the mauve would work very nicely as well. And going by how much I absolutely love the look of these, I'm very, very tempted to go back and get the mauve. Yeah, I love it. I'm just going to try to buff out the peachy one and pop some of that pink on this side so I don't look completely weird. I think that's a bit better. I didn't want to wipe my makeup off because I don't want to remove this base. I want to see how well this primer holds up. If you ignore my chin and my nose, the primer has worked well everywhere. Anyway, so this wasn't from the release, I'm just going to add my highlighter, but this was my absolute favourite release of the whole of 2023 when it comes to highlighter. So this Chanel highlighter is Pearly White. I'm just going to pop this across. I don't really need a lot of highlight because this brush has already given a lot of shimmer. The reason this highlighter was my absolute favourite is I think it's the most natural looking highlight that blends in without ever emphasising anything, which is obviously something these blushes are able to do too, so I don't think these can be beaten, to be honest, these blushes and this highlighter, this combination. Just giving a subtle bit of it. Look at it, just look. Whenever I see it I just think it's so stunning. I hope the camera can pick that up because it's so beautiful. And I'm even going to pop a bit onto my eye because I just don't like the way my eyes look, if I haven't mentioned that before. I'm going to pop some of this into the middle. That's brightened the eye up a little bit. That's more like what I was looking for from the eyeshadow palette, was something a bit more white. That's what that palette is lacking. It doesn't have a good white shimmer for the inner corner. And basically a bit of contrast. There's not enough contrast in that eyeshadow palette. If it had had that, that would have been better. So now onto the lips, and this is the new colour from this range in the Rouge Cocoa Bar. This is number 936, Chilling Pink. It looks absolutely beautiful, but when I swatched it on my hand yesterday, all I got was Vaseline look. I just got nothing, and I thought if I just paid a fortune for a very expensive lip balm. So we'll see today if this gives me anything. I know that I'm not expecting a lot of colour from this, but I would like to see a little bit of the pink. Oh, there is a bit. I've got a pale lip liner going around my lips at the moment, but that's it. If you look at my lips, my lower lip has about 4 swipes of this. My upper lip has none. And there's virtually no difference. Obviously there's a bit of shine. No. This is exactly what I was fearing it would be. A very expensive lip balm. That's a huge no from me, and another huge fail. Just can't see it. Can you see it? Well, you can see it, but hardly at all. This is the first one I've tried actually from this range, so maybe if I'd gone for a deeper colour, but I just wanted to try the new release, and obviously subtle is the name of the game with this release. So if you like a tiny, tiny hint of pink, it's very nice on the lips. It feels very lovely and hydrating. I don't think it's plumping. But if you like a tiny bit of colour, the tiniest bit of shine, then this will give you it. But I don't. I like to have more colour than that. So there we are. after I've done this video, I will go on and put a nice bright lipstick on because I don't like that at all. So that's my final look. What do you think? Would you buy anything I've just tried on? The blushes, I would a million times recommend you go out and buy because I absolutely love them. I think they look stunning. One of the nicest ones I've tried possibly ever. That's how much I think they look amazing. I love them, love them, love them. So a massive yes. For me, the eyeshadow is a huge no from me. What do you think? Would you buy it? Do you like it? I know that these colours are very, very popular. And they don't look awful, but I don't know. I would have preferred the colours to have stood out a bit more instead of blending all into one pink look, really. Anyway, and as for the lips, well, the same. I think it's a complete waste of money. Yesterday I was testing out this new Dior Lip Maximizer in a similar shade, and this one is so much nicer. If you're looking for a light pink, shimmery, hydrating lip to go with this sort of eye colour, I would go for the Dior myself. This one is beautiful. Before I go, I am going to take this off, and instead I'm going to put on one of my favourite lipsticks from Chanel, from the Rouge Allure Velvet range. I love these, the way they open. Hot. This one is number 58, Rouge V, or Vi. I don't know how you say it, but look at that colour. There we are, I feel a lot better now I've got a lipstick on that I actually love. Maybe I'll try this one on top, see what happens. That's actually quite nice on top. It's made the colour a little bit more subtle. I'm giving it, it feels really, really comfortable, it's lovely. So there we are, I found a use for this. Put it on top. This would probably be quite nice with their liquid lipstick, which is a bit more drying. Yeah, there we are. I found a use for it, so it won't be wasted, but I don't think it's worth the money just for that purpose for me. So that's it from me today. I'd love to hear from you about whether you like anything from this collection. Have you picked anything up? Will you be picking anything up? I adore these blushes, so that's my big takeaway from this collection. I absolutely love them, as you've probably noticed. Chanel is one of my absolute favourite brands, so I'm really pleased that I've enjoyed the blushes as much as I have. And hopefully this year, you never know, I might just find an eyeshadow palette that I love just as much as the blush. I'll keep looking and I'll keep testing. And if this is something you enjoy, please like and subscribe below. It really does help me to keep my channel going. And I'll see you in my next video. Bye!